What up YouTube, Topaz Yates back for another review, and this one's to that Drake, the best in the world pack. And I'm gonna give it the yellow light because it's aight. I mean, all he's really doing is flexing on both of these tracks, and it honestly comes off as songs that he had stacked up that he wanted to release for a particular reason. And that excuse happens to be that the Raptors won the title here. Because when you break down what's being said in both of these songs, nothing is really mentioning the fact that they won the title. So that allows you to believe he just had these songs on deck and he was waiting for a moment to just go ahead and release it. As you can see, everything that he was doing during the finals, where people have been super critical of what Drake was doing and all that, dude. Like, Shaq called it out the best. He said, this is marketing. And I believe that it was marketing at its finest. I mean, what are the odds that you are a top rapper in the game at the same time that your home team, basketball team, ends up winning the finals? You dig? Like, I cannot really think of anyone who's done that and actually have been a participant with that team and such. Like, for those of you who don't know, Drake is getting a championship ring, bruh. He was the ambassador of the Toronto Raptors. So therefore, they win, he won. And I know Drake goes extra on everything he does, but he didn't do anything that much more than what, say, Spike Lee does on a season-to-season basis, you dig? So all of the hatred that Drake got being thrown his way and stuff, man, that's kind of unwarranted here. But let's look at both of these songs here, because honestly, they're both along the same accord. Like, these songs are nothing more than Drake just flexing on both lyrically and all that. But clearly, Omerta is the superior song to Money in the Grave. As far as production, as far as lyrics, as far as just overall quality, that song is really good, you dig? But I wouldn't say it's amazing though. Like, I can definitely listen to it somewhat consistently, but I don't see myself putting it on my playlist. While Money in the Grave will become very forgettable really quickly, you dig? But let's start from the very top with that Omerta. Again, there's no core concept here. He's really just spitting here as he's saying things like, okay, these gunners that he got will shoot you out of nowhere like an epiphany. That was a solid bar, because epiphanies just happen to you whenever you least expect it, and you end up creating some of the better ideas of your life. How Drake said that he's about to buy all of the places that at one time closed their doors on him. Like, this is like somewhat the revenge fantasy that people always have, for when you get successful, you're gonna go back and crap on everybody. How he said the rise to the top of this mountain was biblical. That was pretty dope, because that's referencing the 10 Commandments, how it came down from the mountains and all of that stuff. How he said that I got so much money that we gotta count the 20s in a whole nother room. But clearly the best bar that everybody's been talking about is how he's saying they think that they rolled up on me last year, but the truth is they only got hot because they told on me last year. Like, that was a dope bar because of the truth that's involved with it, as he's clearly talking about Pusha T, as Pusha T pretty much did drop a dime that Drake had a son and told on his personal life and stuff into the public, and it did make Pusha T hot for that particular time period. Really, the only thing that I didn't like about this particular track is how he started to emulate Biggie's flow and really didn't back it up with great lyricism at all to do it. And it kind of dried out near the end of it, but it's a solid track. While the next song is that Money in the Grave, which is all but the same thing, more flexing on the track, but as I said, a lot worse lyricism. There's only really 2 bars on here that I really wanted to quote. Like when Drake said that he wants to be rich in the afterlife, so when he died, put his money in the grave. Where that ultimately became the title of the song, it's a lot like what Tupac said way back when he said, when you're trying to create songs, they ain't got no time to be in the studio lollygagging because it costs to be up in there. So the last bar that this guy says, if it's hot, we're gonna use that for the hook. Use that exact formula for this particular song. And the last bar that I honestly wanted to quote off this entire song is how he's saying other people just want to swap, like they on Slauson and Watts, in which that's where the swap meet is. And actually, I was out there at one point in time. Did you guys know that the swap meet is on the inside? Like, there's an actual green building with it in there. But ultimately, interesting bar, but that's by far the best that both of these artists got going, because Rick Ross's verse is really forgettable. The production had a little bit of a bounce to it, but that wasn't that great either. Like, it was just a of a track. But overall, I feel as though this was a great marketing tool that Drake has actually taken here. Like, he took over the whole NBA Finals, because as soon as people talking about the NBA Finals, you have to talk about Drake because of how he was conducting himself the whole way, you dig? And the fact that they won and he was able to continue to benefit off of that, promoting out his brand and all that stuff. This was absolute genius all the way through. I just wish there was better music to it, but it is what it is. But this concludes today's review, man. But let's go ahead and talk about the news that's been going on, man, because there's been a ongoing feud between Genius.com, the website for rap lyrics and all that, and Google. And this feud honestly begins off because Genius has recognized that the lyrics that has been posted on all of Google for individual rap songs, it always completely matches what they did on Genius. Even for difficult to translate songs like from Future and all that. Well, let's keep it all the way real. Not even Genius is 100% accurate on the lyrics that most of these rappers be doing anyway. But yet, Genius is saying that Google is copying all of the lyrics straight off of their website and applying it to a Google search, so that when people search for the lyrics, they see it directly off of Google and don't have to click on Genius. So they're saying that they're losing money because of it. But yet, how do you prove this? Genius thought up a good reason how. What they did was they started putting in Morse code in the lyrics that they're deciphering for the particular songs. And the Morse code is saying red-handed. And when Google used these lyrics and had the Morse code in them, then they honestly have no case. They clearly stole these lyrics. Either way, I find it funny because Genius isn't the best website for the culture, as it's not owned by us, and these individual people, they will like put up lyrics and all of that for unreleased songs and things of that nature. And Google is clearly not for this culture, as they honestly copyright strike as many people as they can that's talking anything black empowerment off of YouTube and things of that nature. The next thing I want to talk about in the news is Missy Elliott being selected to be in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Big props to Missy Elliott, man. She's definitely deserving of it, as still waiting on that project that she was working on while she got hot doing the Super Bowl years ago, and we heard really nothing from it after a while as all of that heat dissipated. But it is what it is at this point. But honestly, I'm proud of her. She definitely deserves that honor. And the Billboard chart came out too, man, in which I wanted to go ahead and list some of the more notable names that's on here. As on top of the rap charts, #1 and #5 of the overall charts would be Future's Save Me, as he moved 41,000 equivalency units. Now, for those of you who don't know what equivalency units is it's a combination of album sales and streams. See, every 1,500 streams, you get one album sale. At #7, you got that DJ Khaled, Father of Assad, with 36,000 equivalency units moved. Then you got DaBaby at #9 with that Baby on Baby with that 27,000 equivalency units sold. And that one is rather interesting because he only moved maybe 500 legitimate units, and the rest of it was all streams. And #15 would be that Tyler, the Creator, with Igor, with 26,000 equivalency units right there. And that was entertaining because DJ Khaled came out on week 1 of his project saying that he outsold Tyler, the Creator, all the way, but yet they didn't include his bundle sales. And as you see right now, definitely probably was true. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpass.com, that's down there, to read today's article.